the astrology for March 9th through the 15th. And it's going to start out kind of calm, like things are getting better. But by Friday, not so much. And on Saturday, you really should plan a little something that's going to lift your spirits and revitalize your soul. I'm going to go through the planetary motions, and then we're going to talk about how you play it to optimize your situation. So you start out with this crazy stellium in the fourth house. Like 4 of the planets are conjunct each other, but not one big conjunct, which is going to happen later this month. And you've got Venus in retrograde backing itself into Mercury. And then you've got Moon, starts the week out fairly positively aspected. And then you've got Uranus working its way around from the 6th house to the 7th house. Stellium placement starting the week is people just refreshing themselves from the weekend, starting to feel a little bit safer about the next steps that they personally are going to take. Maybe there's big changes in your firm. Maybe they've got some people feeling crazy. Maybe you're one of these people. With the Moon conjunct Mars in the 8th house, and it's positively aspected to everything versus last week when it was not. And so that's going to have people a little bit more listening to each other. You're going to be able to get the inside scoop on some of the things that you need if you either just listen for it or ask thoughtful questions one-on-one, okay? Not in big group meetings, okay? And so that's great through really Tuesday's the last day. But then what happens is that Moon starts trekking over and that Uranus starts coming up into the 7th house. And then it gets really ugly because that Moon's going to end up in the 10th house in direct opposition to all the stelliums. Good thing is Uranus in that 6th house is giving you some very specific next steps of what to do to evolve your life. At work, you're finally getting some precise information that you didn't have before for the next steps of what you have to do. Now, Uranus is going to shift into the 7th house and force you to start working with some people, meaning in some cases, you're going to have departments mergers announced. You're going to understand now who you're going to be working with going forward. You're going to have to do some new things with some new people. That Moon opposition in the 10th house to the stellium in the 4th house is not good, but you need to kind of like make everybody else feel calm or vice versa. And that tension is particularly not fun on Friday. That Saturday that you get a little bit of a break, because next week I'll go through what happens the 16th through the 19th. You get a big kite formation on the 19th before you get Mercury in retrograde, before you get the crazy conjunction that happens on the 25th. So how do you play it? Poker face it all week, okay? Even if someone says something crazy that you vehemently disagree with, you got to keep it in, because you're not going to get the full facts of what's up and how people are reacting in their moment of fear, because there's still a lot of fear-based behavior. The 15th, you want to schedule something that's going to just rejuvenate you for sure. And you could work on relationships with anybody that you believe represents the new incoming group, because the momentum of the new incoming group is much stronger than people think that it is. Aggressive moves that take you in the forward motion, no problem on that. Get your resume out, network with people that might be able to get you a job if you're in a bad spot. If you're newly put in a situation, go ahead and make moves as if everything's going to be fine. All that's good. But any defensive moves to try to keep what was but will not be going forward, it's not going to help you out. There's no reason to do it. It's not in particular mentioned for folks that are in this situation. If you think old loyalties for people that are moving in the opposite direction are going to help you out, I see a ton of backpedaling by next week. So you're better off just staying kind of neutral, seeing if you can balance out any kind of vibes and waiting for probably about 2 weeks. I feel like, May, I need a date so that I can look forward to something, then other than March the 15th, where you should plan something for yourself for self-care, March the 19th will form a kite. But we will get to that next week, and you can hit the follow button if you'd like to hear more news then.